Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Mr. Wealth Answer here. Alright, so today's video is going to be a little bit different. I'm actually just going to go through a step-by-step tutorial to show you guys how to actually file a claim if you guys want to file a claim, whether it's for NovaTech or any other of these companies that are kind of rug pulling people in this space. But before I do, guys, I just want to share a little bit of my personal reasons why I feel people should file, because I've been getting in the comment section people's opinions as to one person is like, why would you tell people to file? You're just going to make things worse for NovaTech. You're going to make things slow down for them, and it's going to make the situation worse. Well, I just kind of want to let you know the situation is already worse. Right? It's bad already. Number two, NovaTech hasn't communicated anything either way. And the way I see it, right, they're not taking any form of action. They're not going to court. They're not responding back to any of the things, the claims that a lot of these other countries are putting before them. They were told to give investors back their money in a lot of the states, including Canada and other places, sometime last year. And I'm a Canadian and I haven't gotten the money back. So a lot of people haven't gotten their money back. And they're not saying anything. So when people are actually not taking any form of action, to me, it is a form of action. Inaction is a form of action. And not saying anything, to me, is just indicative that you either don't have a solution, or you're hiding something, or you're unsure of something, or something's going on. And it not being disclosed to us is the reason why I'm saying people should file, so we can put pressure on them to just literally say something to us, right? Who knows, maybe by me doing this video, maybe by people actually making files or claims, it could put pressure on them to say something. And that actually could shorten this whole process. So to speak on those type of comments by users, if you have watched me in my previous videos, I actually did say people should just be a little patient, because if we file and maybe make a complaint, it could make the process worse or take longer. But again, it's up to them. The option is up to them, and it's their money, so they have to do what's in their best interest. Now I'm saying you guys should file. Why? Because it's been a few months and it doesn't take that long to come up with something to say to us, right? So something's going on and we're not sure, and we need to figure out what it is. A lot of money is being held, and to be honest, it's not fair. And another thing is, people are saying in the comment section it's a scare tactic. And the truth is, it's not a scare tactic. This is happening in the space quite a bit. And even though crypto is decentralized, I don't think it should be an arena for us to be so gullible that people should just take advantage of people like that, especially newbies in the space. And I think we need to create this awareness so people understand what they're getting themselves into, and they can then take that risk and say, okay, if this is how the space is, I'll take a gamble, right? It's just like a casino. People go to a casino, they know the risk. People smoke, the risk is on the box. So when they actually take that action, it's up to them. It's a decision they made. We just respect that. They have to face the consequences of that. But when people don't know, that's where the deception and the anger comes from. Like, why didn't you tell me? I would have made an informed decision if I was given the right information ahead of time. These are the reasons why I'm creating these videos. All right, so I want to talk about a couple of other reasons why I believe we should file a report. And here are my 6 or 7 reasons. Number one, it puts pressure on the individuals, like I stated before. I feel like if we don't say anything, people will procrastinate, especially when they're the ones in the hot seat. So if we don't just rise up and put a little pressure on the leaders of NovaTech, this thing can ride off for a year and a bit, to the point where now people even completely forget about it, and who knows, they might start another company. And it's just, I feel we need to set a precedent to say, look, we need to be respected, we need to be validated, we need to feel as if, hey, we put our trust in you, you need to give us an explanation. If we lost all the money, just let us know we lost all the money, and then people can move on. It will hurt a lot of people, it will affect a lot of people, but at least you pull the mandate. It's like a doctor who is able to go through the operation table and the patient passes away. He's not going to prolong that news to the family members. He just has to say it, and there has to be grief, or people need time and space to grieve or get upset and let those emotions out. You can't control how people are going to feel. So to kind of prolong the process to try to find a solution and not say anything and all that, I think you should just say exactly what's going on, and then people can make the decision as to what they want to do or what emotion they want to feel. You don't have control over that, but it's better that it's being said so that we all kind of know where we stand. And that uncertainty is what creates the fear, the doubt, the anger. So if we just know, we can get over those emotions really quickly, right? So if it's anger, we get angry and we're over it, we're on to the next thing. But if it's prolonged, I feel like it's not fair to us. Number two, if there's a large enough amount of complaints that come from the public, it does push also pressure on authorities to act. And that is also important. And I think if you guys were to file, it's not even about getting your money back. I think it just puts pressure on the authorities to act, because it's like, this is a big issue. A lot of people are filing complaints, a lot of money is involved. We need to actually see what the underlying story is, and let's find a solution to help these people. So even if at the end of the day it is jail time or whatever, so be it. Like, that's the consequences of that action. If something legitimate is going on, then the individuals involved won't have anything to worry about. You see what I mean, how it works? So I would rather just make the complaint, and then if there's pressure on them from the authorities, right? Number three, if the crime is big enough and involves people from many countries, it can also encourage local law enforcers to get Interpol involved and flag the individuals involved. Local police can flag their travels, also use other technology and forensics to locate the individuals and hopefully bring them to justice. And so that's why another reason why I'm suggesting we report it. Number four, in case of future developments, by documenting your complaint, it may keep you on record and it may give you a slight chance to get your money back. Number five, it helps local authorities understand these schemes more so they can also detect it quicker in the future. It can also bring more awareness by educating the public, and in some cases prevent others from being a victim to future schemes. And number six, hopefully it gets other scammers to think twice when trying to do other schemes in the future. If we don't put our foot down now and make examples of existing perpetrators, then what stops them from doing it again and again and again, or encouraging even more fraudsters to come into the space? So that's why I think we all should report it, so people can see we're not going to just take it laying down. You know what I mean? Another viewer made a comment in one of my videos and said, hey, why are you going to report it to the government? They're like, he didn't say this, but he insinuated they're the biggest mafia. Like, you're going to tell the government so they know your financials and know all of this. And what I'm saying is, at this point, when you do make this investment, what other option do you have, right? You've been defrauded. So should we continue to be defrauded at the end of the day? So I just feel like it's up to you. I'm not telling anybody what they should or shouldn't do. If you have that belief and that's something you want to stand by, you take your actions accordingly. I don't think anybody should not report it. In my opinion, I think you should report it, because you were told one thing and something else happened. You were deceived. And at the end of the day, it's not about going to law enforcement to disclose about the space and give your financials and whatever the reasons are. You're trying to prevent future things like that from happening in the future, and you're trying to get your money back, right? At the end of the day, I've never seen a case where someone reported and the person reporting it gets in trouble. I've never seen that. So if that is something that happens a lot, then I guess then we can make that comment. Then I would say, okay, maybe we have to find another avenue. But I haven't seen that. So personally, I'm not going to tell somebody don't go and file a complaint, because if you're going to tell the government, they're going to know about your affairs, your financials, they're going to know you made money, all these things, maybe you got to pay taxes. You can't have that type of fear. At the end of the day, if that happens, so be it. You didn't make money. It's not like something bad. You pay taxes, but at the end of the day, you gotta weigh that versus being defrauded. I don't know, just my opinion, but everybody to their own. All right, enough of me rambling about. Let me actually now take you through the step-by-step process on how you can actually now file a complaint. Before you actually make any formal complaint, make sure you have the following information in hand. You have to have this before you even try to go make a complaint, right? Number one is the company information, website information, details, all the details of the individuals, whatever you know. Jot that down and make sure you have it on record. Number 2, again, the owner information. So whatever you know about Cynthia, Eddie, or Ricardo, whoever was the CEOs of the company, you want to have that information. Number 3, history of your transactions. So that's where you'll go to the back office, print out your whole documents and receipts of everything you've had from the beginning, especially your deposits, what you initially put in. They're going to want to know that information. You also want to note the crypto exchange you use, plus the wallet address you send it to. For me, what I did is I did a spreadsheet where I had the wallet address that I sent the funds to, the amount in crypto I sent it to, the exchange I used, the date, the time, and I created a spreadsheet based on the data that was given to me from, let's say, my crypto exchange and what I saw in my NovaTech back office. So you don't have to go to that extent, but if you can get a general idea of your deposits and just make a list of that, because they're gonna ask you for that information. And then number 5, a history of events. So you want a summary of what happened. They're gonna ask you to actually describe what happened. So from the beginning, when you were introduced, or who introduced you, to the date, the time, as much information that you can provide would be great. Put that together, put it in paragraphs, create your story. And then once you have all that information, then the first thing you need to do is go to your local authorities and file a police report. Go to local law enforcement and file a report, file a claim, say, hey, this is the situation that happened to me, this is my story. And if you have everything already done, you don't need to kind of make a statement at the police station. For me, what I did was I just told them, hey, this is the incident, and I took the police officer's email and I sent all the information to them, and then you basically are using that in order to kind of look into or investigate the matters further. And it's very important you do this. It's going to save you a lot of time. So put the time initially beforehand to kind of gather everything, because it's going to help you. Number 2, go to the SEC website if you're in the US, the Security Exchange Commission website, and file a complaint. Now, if you're in, let's say, Canada, you could go to your local securities board in your province. So in Canada, it's the OSC, the Ontario Securities Commission. You just want to go to them. Now, they've already dealt with NovaTech. They've already sent a cease and desist, so they're aware of who the company is. But I believe if more Canadians file more complaints, it could also propel them to investigate further, just because they haven't said anything right now. Number 3, if you need help and guidance, I encourage you to go to NovaTechScams.com. It has a lot of detailed information there, plus sequence of events of things that has happened since, I guess, this whole thing started up with NovaTech, that you guys could use as part of your, let's say, explanation or package. And it also gives step-by-step process on how to file it, just what I'm giving you guys right now, in a bit more streamlined manner. But you could just also follow this video, that's fine. Okay, so after you filed your complaint with the local authorities, the next thing is to file a complaint with the FBI. And you want to go to that website, which I'm going to show you in a minute. And once you go there, you file a complaint, and then of course you kind of have to just wait, and then it's just a matter of following up. I would say every 30 days, send a check-in, an email of anything new that's come up, anything any information. Do they need any additional information? Is there anything else you can do? And let's just keep tabs on the investigation. So I want to go to a website which kind of jots down the information in a chronological order, and I want to share those websites with you right now. Alright, so this website pretty much gives a step-by-step summary of what I just shared with you. So basically it gives you a checklist, and this checklist is similar to what I explained. It says create an investment fraud file, and you guys can also go to the website here or pause the video and read it. I'm not going to go through it in detail, but I do want to mention here the places where they mention where you could file complaints. So if you're in the US, you have the US Securities and Exchange Commission, you have FINRA, you have NASA, you have National Association of Insurance Commissioners. I don't think this will apply in this circumstances, but you could probably check in with them and see if there's any insurance claims, which I doubt because it's crypto, it's not regulated. But it's still an option there. At this point, a little bit of it is try and error, so you're gonna have to try some things. There's nothing set in like stone. I kind of just want to give you guys guidance, but dig as much as you can and see what you can do. The next thing is National Futures Association can file a complaint. U.S. Commodity Futures Trade Commission can file a complaint. All right, so it just depends. Me, I just think the SEC, FBI, local law enforcement is good enough because this is actually going to help. Number 4 is to report the fraud to local law enforcement. So after you've kind of reported it to the regulators, you can report it to law enforcement. I believe it's better to actually report it to law enforcement first and then report it to the local regulators, in my opinion. But either way, it's fine. And then of course it says consider options. So all these other stuff to me doesn't really apply too much to the situation at hand. But these 2 points, number 3 and number 4, I think is very important. As you can see, they give you options here: local law enforcement, district attorney, attorney general, federal law enforcement, to submit an online tip, and vice versa. This is very, very good information. You can again go to finra.org /investors/insights /recovering from investment fraud. So I'll leave a link in the description below for these websites, so if you guys want to visit them and read more on them, you can. All right, so here's another website you guys could go to: Hagens Berman Securities Fraud Attorneys representing whistleblowers. So you could actually go here and put in your information and see if you can make a whistleblower claim. Right, so this can actually help. I think there might be a case opened that you can probably attach yourself to. But yeah, I think this is an option. This again is for the US residents. Again, I got this website from NovaTech FX scams.com, so they had this on there. So I just wanted to share this with you as well, kind of let you guys see the website yourself. Okay, so now we have the SEC. You can actually go to sec.gov/TCR and file a tip on Ponzi schemes, pyramid schemes, or whatever it is you want to call it. You can submit your information there. You can also go to the complaints section here on the website and file a complaint as well. Report suspected securities frauds and stuff. There's no right way or wrong way to do it. And then you need to go to ic3.gov. On this website, you can literally file a complaint. You click file a complaint. It's going to take you through the process and you guys can fill things out. So of course you read all this information and then go through the step-by-step process to fill it out. This is the FBI's website. So by going here, you'll be filling out information regarding whatever situation that you have gone through with whatever scheme or company you've gone through it with. Now, another thing I think US residents can do is report it to the local TV network, right? Because sometimes they can actually go and do a report, and if it becomes a big enough issue, they could make it a national TV thing so people can bring an awareness. And if they can make it more of a national thing and there's photos to it, maybe someone can see them, maybe someone can spot them. They're somewhere in the world, and I believe they're hiding out somewhere. And I don't want to think the worst, but it just makes absolutely no sense. Nobody can find them. You just don't have a large sum of money like that just disappear and then think that we should think the best of you in this situation. And to be honest, nobody is thinking them as saints right now because everyone's like they ran off with the money. I don't know, maybe they didn't, but right now there's nowhere to be found. So at the end of the day, what can we do? The only option is to file a complaint so we can actually put some pressure on them. I just want to put pressure on them. If they are legitimately coming up with a solution, if they are having our monies, if they have traded, if they have legitimately, honestly done the things that we assumed they were doing, then there will be no fear. So all these reports and everything will go out the window, right? Because all they have to do is just validate the receipts and say, hey, look, this is what we're doing. Yes, we're quiet, but these are the reasons, and it puts pressure and we get a response. But if it comes to the point where they are actually frauding us, then they should, I think, get the consequences or whatever it's deemed necessary, in my opinion. So either way, I think it's a win-win situation. So we're not going to lose by filing a report. So all those people that saying we should wait, we're going to make it worse, I don't see how. Because right now it's worse already, and they're not saying anything. They're not going to say anything. And if we don't put pressure, I don't think they're pressured to say anything. So that's why, in my opinion, I think we should do this. But again, to each their own. I'm not going to tell you what to do. You have to do what's in your best interest and what's best for you. All right, so now we're going to go to Canada. In Canada, it's literally the same process. You can go to the Canadian website in the link in the description, and it will take you to the step-by-step process. You can follow this. To be honest, I think steps 1, which is gathering information, all those things I told you about, is here. And then step 2 is to report it to local law enforcement. Again, I say report it to your authorities first, and report that you have lost money. And then step 3, report the incident to the Canadian Anti-Fraud Center or Competition Bureau, and they have a number. And if you click there, it's going to take you to the website, which I will show you, and fill an online form. And what they do is they're going to take your complaint and kind of direct it to the proper authorities. So if you're in Ontario, what they did for me is, for one of my other complaints, they took me to the Ontario Securities Commission, and somebody forensics over there contacted me for more information and kind of to reiterate everything I've already sent in to them and the police, and they just want it resent to you. So they were going to say, okay, tell us what happened, send your receipts and all that, so that they can investigate further. And that's pretty much it. Now, you could report step 4 to your financial institution. However, because you use crypto, majority of us, you can't kind of report that to the bank because there's nothing they can do. But you could report it to your local wallet, right? To me, I don't think step 4 is necessary, because when you're sending the money, they don't like that anyways. So they're gonna probably be like, screw you, we told you not to put money in and you did, so that's what, there's nothing we can do. But then again, it's good to report it, so there's an awareness. Step 5 is to notify the website, and that doesn't make sense because the website is the problem, the people in it. And then step 6, flag your accounts, check your credit report, and that won't apply in this situation because it has nothing to do with our credit. But here is the steps to report any type of fraud or scams in Canada, not just NovaTech, but in general. So if you ever get scammed, this is the website to go. And then the last website would be reporting it to cybercrime. And here is where you actually go to the Canadian Anti-Fraud Center to report this scheme. And I also want to leave off here reasons why you should report, and I think these are good reasons too. Number 1, information could link to a number of crimes together in Canada and abroad. So that's another reason I think we should report it, because the more people that report it, it could help solve other investigations from other cases, right? And also, if let's say they do start a new company somewhere else in the future, and let's say their names pop up or something like that, or they do it again in the future, it's going to help local authorities kind of catch this much quicker, right? So if we don't file, I think we're doing ourselves a disservice. Number 2, information could progress or complete an investigation. Like I said before, reports also show crime trends and allows for crime forecasting. So it shows trends, and this is a growing trend in this crypto space. So if they are able to see this trend occurring, then they can warn the public and let us know. It also helps law enforcement provide private and public sector, academia, etc. to learn about the crimes and help with prevention and awareness efforts, like I just mentioned before. Alright, so now guys, I'm just going to give you my own personal opinion and summarize this video. Alright, so in summary, all I'm saying is, personally, I feel we all should report it, just because at this point in time, we don't know what is going on, and we need to put some pressure on this company to let us know what's going on. And I think by doing this, and if more members speak up, because there's thousands of members in the world, it's going to put that pressure on them. Number 2 is, if you are part of NovaTech and you're not in Canada and the US, then I believe making and filing a complaint would be very important as well. And I think your process will be simple. Just go to your local law enforcement and then your regulatory bodies. It's usually like the Securities Exchange Commissions whatever exchange commission is available in your country. Now, there are some countries where law is not really enforced as much, but still file a complaint because if, let's say, international authorities are looking into it, they can all work together. Another thing I forgot to mention is we can actually have Interpol work into it. What Interpol does, it works with all local law enforcement all over the world, work together to kind of find these culprits. So if, let's say, a lot of countries are getting these complaints, and that's why it's important, it doesn't matter if you're in the US and Canada only, whether you're in Europe, Africa, Asia, wherever, you should file a complaint, because what will happen is if they can see that, man, a lot of people all over the world are affected, it's going to put pressure on local law enforcement to go and pursue these people, and they're going to tell Interpol, and they're going to put an international kind of warrant an arrest for these people, and wherever they travel, as soon as they swipe their passport, their information will pop up and local law enforcement will keep them. So it's going to restrict even their ability to travel. I'm not saying we should do this to, let's say, Cynthia or NovaTech, but I'm just letting you know that the more people that complain and they don't say anything and they don't speak up, then it's going to prolong. And I think we need a response at this time. There's people who have $500,000 in there, people who put their children's education fund money in there, hoping it will grow and help them get through education and have more money for them. There's people who put their life savings in there. Now, you might be saying, well, Mark, we should never risk more than we're willing to learn. I agree, but at the end of the day, these are a lot of people who are not knowledgeable in this space. This NovaTech was highly promoted and highly regarded. A lot of people were praising them on their integrity and everything of that sort, and so a lot of people put that trust in them, and because of that, people put a lot of money they normally wouldn't into NovaTech, thinking, like the banks, when you have such high trust in an entity or corporation like that, that they're gonna hold that trust throughout. So nobody anticipated this, and so you can't blame them after the fact. But when things are working and things are going well and are all making money, then it's like, oh my gosh, I should have put more money, then I could have made more money, right? So it goes both ways. We can't slap them when things go wrong, and when things are going right, look at them and give them so much praise. People make the decision based on what they knew at the time and were led to believe. And all I'm saying is I think it is owed to those such people and to myself and to everybody involved with NovaTech that we need a response. And so by us making these complaints, it's going to put that pressure on local authorities, and if they can all work together all over the world, including Interpol, we can actually track where they are and get a response. Now, I believe if they are innocent and there's no issues and they are trading and they have all these things and they're doing what they need to do in the back end, maybe they're not telling us, then what would happen is that will also come to light. And then they can tell local authorities and say, hey, look, this is what's going on. These are the documents. This is exactly what we're doing. We're not doing nothing illegal here. And then the complaints will all drop, right? And then we can all just drop our complaints. And at the end of the day, we have our response. And then we can continue to move forward. All I'm saying is we need to put pressure on them. Either way, whether it comes out good or bad, we will get a response. I'm not even saying putting pressure because they're fraudsters and they scammed us and we need to get our money back. So no, I'm just saying we should put pressure on them so that we can get a quicker response. The only way we can do that is to file a complaint so local authorities can start working with us to locate these individuals so we can know what the heck is going on. That's my whole underlining theme here. And if they're doing something wrong or they're trying to scam us or they run away, that will come to light. And I think that at that point, if that's their intentions and what they have done, whatever the consequences are the consequences, right? But if that's not what they're doing, that's fine. Then they should let us know, and then they will let us know and they will tell us and things can move forward. That's all I'm saying. Okay, so guys, I'm not gonna talk too much in this video. This was a little bit longer than before. So sorry for my rambling, but I didn't even ask you guys to like this video, subscribe, because at this point it's beyond that. like the video, subscribe to the channel. But I wanted to give this information out because a lot of people have been requesting step-by-step actions or what they can do to file a report, and so that's what this video is about. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Just remember, I'm not a financial advisor. All the information here is just for information purposes. I'm not here to tell you how to invest or what to do with your money, but I'm just here to share education and information that you can utilize to make informed decisions, and you have to be the judge of your own actions and everything that is being reported. Anyways, guys, I appreciate you. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next